He spoke after the game, and he wanted to pin it on himself and his performance, but we're not going to allow him to do that. It's a team game. I saw him; he was putting his head down. He was kind of thinking about I know he wants to make the play. He wants to have that game changing drive because he feels like he has that ability, and we've seen it. Don't be discouraged from one drive or two drives. It's a good football team over there. So just trying to keep him to keep his confidence high, and keep on chasing that standard in which he set. And we're going to continue to support him.
The game against the Ravens took a shocking turn when Dillon Gabriel was taken out due to a concussion, and ShedeurSanders was thrown into the fire. But let's be clear. This move wasn't about giving Shedeur a chance to shine. It was about something deeper. It felt like a deliberate attempt to break his spirit, to test his resilience in ways no player should have to face. As the game came to a close, something incredible happened. Myles Garrett stepped up to the microphone, and in a moment that transcended football, he wasn't there to talk about stats or strategy. He was there to stand by his quarterback. Garrett didn't hesitate to defend ShedeurSanders, saying he wouldn't let his QB shoulder the blame for what had happened on the field. He made it clear. Anything said against ShedeurSanders is unjustifiable. Garrett's words were more than just a message of support. They were a powerful declaration of loyalty. He went on to say, "I am here to support ShedeurSanders, even if no one else does." In a world where loyalty can sometimes feel rare, Garrett's support shone as a reminder that in football and in life, true leaders stand by their teammates when they need it the most.
And we could have had even more sacks, whether from me or from other guys, and that's just discipline on our part and things we can learn from. And they're a good team.
Myles Garrett made it clear that the blame didn't fall on ShedeurSanders alone. It was a team effort, and everyone shared responsibility. He even took some of the blame himself, emphasizing that he could have done more, including securing more sacks, and that the defense as a whole could have been more disciplined. Myles made sure to highlight that no one should question Shedeur's performance in the final quarter, especially considering he was thrown into the game without any prior first-team practice reps. His commitment to defending Shedeur was unwavering, making sure the focus remained on the collective effort rather than singling out one player. Myles Garrett went on to emphasize that ShedeurSanders is giving it his all to ensure he performs at his best on the field. He made it clear that Shedeur is doing everything he's supposed to do as a player, and then some. Myles even acknowledged that Shedeur has been putting in extra work behind the scenes to stay sharp and in touch with the team. With all that effort, Myles assured everyone that there was nothing about Shedeur's approach that could be blamed. He made it abundantly clear that Shedeur is putting in the work, and that's all anyone could ask for. Garrett's words rang true, as ShedeurSanders didn't let the difficult situation affect him. Despite the rough start, Shedeur didn't complain or make excuses. Instead, he took responsibility for his mistakes, acknowledging that there were areas where he needed to improve. He openly stated that his focus is on getting better, particularly by working with Jerry Jeudy on his passing routes. This highlighted a clear issue. During the game, Shedeur was often unsure of who to target with his throws. It was evident that Stefanski's handling of the situation had left Shedeur unprepared, throwing him into the game without giving him the proper preparation or support.
I don't think I play good at all. I think it's a lot of things, we need to look at, during the week and go and just get comfortable even throwing routes, with Jerry and throwing routes with all those guys. So I think that was my first ball to him all year.
ShedeurSanders subtly took aim at the management when asked by Mary Kay Cabot about how he would perform if given the chance to practice with the first team before the next game. Instead of directly answering, Shedeur pointed out that the opportunity for first-team reps was out of his hands. He made it clear that it was up to the team management and the Browns front office to ensure that he gets the necessary practice time with the first team. This was an indirect critique, highlighting the responsibility of the management in giving him the proper preparation.
See, that's an uncontrollable thing that I'm not able to control, and that's not, nothing I should speak on, just being the quarterback of this team, this franchise. They gave me an opportunity. I ain't do up to my expectation and up.
Let's be clear. While ShedeurSanders remains humble and takes responsibility for his performance, the blame really isn't on him. He made some excellent throws during the game, even though he was sacked multiple times. Despite the pressure, he stayed in the game, and some of his passes were near perfect. A perfect example of this was a throw to Larvadain in the red zone, which could have been a game-changer for the Browns. Unfortunately, Larvadain fumbled the ball, even though he had it securely in his hands. That mistake cost the team a crucial opportunity, and it's a moment that could have turned the game around and made Shedeur the hero. This wasn't an isolated incident in the game. ShedeurSanders was delivering some precise throws, but his receivers, who weren't first-team players, struggled with fumbling the ball. It was evident that Stefanski didn't seem keen on letting Shedeur lead the Browns to victory. On several occasions, Shedeur's throws were perfectly placed, right into the hands of his receivers. Stefanski, on the other hand, didn't offer any words of sympathy or acknowledge any mistakes on his part. Instead, he dismissed the situation by stating that they would assess the situation in training. His response lacked any sense of accountability or understanding of the challenges Shedeur faced on the field. Rather than taking responsibility or offering support, Stefanski seemed to downplay the importance of the moment, deflecting any attention away from his role in the team's preparation and performance.
How Shedeur came in there and played?
Yeah, obviously all players, we'll look at it, but he's going to battle like he does. So I'm sure there's things that we can clean up, but those are things we'll look at tomorrow.
However, to deflect from his own mistakes, Stefanski tried to downplay the situation by emphasizing how difficult it is to be a backup quarterback in the NFL, especially when things unfold so quickly. He attempted to cover all bases by stating that he trusts ShedeurSanders and would continue to use him in games. But this just highlighted one thing. Stefanski never truly intended for Shedeur to succeed. His words felt more like a defense mechanism than genuine support for his quarterback. In the end, the situation surrounding ShedeurSanders and the Browns paints a troubling picture. While Shedeur remained humble, accepting his mistakes, it's clear that he wasn't given the fair opportunity he deserved. Despite his impressive throws and determination to stay in the game, the lack of preparation, poor receiver performances, and a coaching staff that failed to provide proper support all pointed to a bigger issue. Myles Garrett's unwavering support for Shedeur spoke volumes about the kind of leadership that the team needs, showing that true leaders stand by their teammates when they're at their most vulnerable. Garrett understood that the blame shouldn't fall solely on Shedeur's shoulders, and his efforts to defend him showcased the real problem. This wasn't just a rookie quarterback struggling. This was a system failing to support a player who had potential. On the other hand, Stefanski's response to the situation left much to be desired. Instead of owning up to the team's collective shortcomings, he tried to brush off the issues by focusing on the challenges of being a backup quarterback, offering no real solutions or accountability. His lack of genuine support for Shedeur, despite claiming trust in him, only reinforced the idea that he wasn't fully invested in Shedeur's success. This game highlighted how important preparation, trust, and leadership are in shaping a player's performance. ShedeurSanders showed heart and resilience in a tough situation, but the way the Browns handled him speaks to larger issues within the team's management. Moving forward, it's crucial that Shedeur is given the chance to develop with the support he needs to truly shine, and not be left to navigate the challenges alone. What do you think about the way ShedeurSanders was treated in this game? Do you believe the blame should fall solely on him, or is the coaching staff and team management equally responsible for his performance? How do you feel about Myles Garrett stepping up to defend his teammate, while Stefanski seemed to downplay the situation? Do you think the Browns are doing enough to support their young quarterback, or is there a deeper issue with their handling of him? We'd love to hear your thoughts on how this situation reflects the bigger picture in team dynamics and leadership.